Okay, we're going to talk about micro PUE, our staple procedure at Northwestern Hair. This differs than FUE. FUE is follicular unit extraction. It's a process of trying to get the hair follicle out and replant it such that it grows in your hair, versus micro PUE, minimally invasive collection by reticular oscillation. That's the use of vibration, oscillation, other techniques to remove the hair besides cutting, to do PUE, not FUE, pilosebaceous unit extraction. Now, the hair is not just a follicle, it's actually something called a pilosebaceous unit. It's all the tissues that encompass a healthy hair, not just a follicle, not just the shaft, but also the oil gland, the surrounding tissues, and a muscle attachment. Transfer of a pilosebaceous unit is obviously going to lead to much more natural appearance than transfer of just the follicle itself. And the way we do that is through vibration, because it's a much more delicate way of removing the hair. Okay, so imagine this. You're doing FUE. You have a cylindrical blade. It has a sharp tip to it. You use it to follow down the shaft to the follicle to get the follicle out. It's going to cut everything in its path. If the oil gland is there, if there's tissues in the way, if the hair shaft's in its way, it's going to cut across it. And that's what we call transsection rates. 12 to 15% of the time in standard FUE, you're going to transect something trying to get to the follicle. A lot of times that is the follicle. Most of the time it is the follicle. It means that the hair is dead. It's not going to work. A lot of times it's the oil gland. It means the hair is going to be dry. Or you can strip the tissues away, and that can mean the hair can become kinked during its kind of regrowth and incorporation in the body. In micro PUE, we use a technique called multiphasic extraction. And we start out by not using a sharp blade. We have blades that are sharp, dull, angled outwards for the cutting edge and out, angled inwards, edge out and edge in. There's 5 different blades. One of those blades is a notch blade. And actually, when it rotates, it has a notch that will cut. But when it stops rotating, it can start vibrating, oscillating, shaking, something to call mamba, and it also starts sucking. And it can change modes every 50 milliseconds and actually sense changes in pressure in the body as it goes in to change those modes. So as we're extracting a hair every 50 milliseconds, we can switch modes. So as we want to cut through the outside hard part of the skin, we want to rotate and actually cut that hard part of the skin such that we're not torquing on the hair. But as soon as we get in, we might want to vibrate or oscillate or even suck or shake once we get to the bottom of the graft to get that follicle loose. That multiphasic extraction is something we can adjust graft by graft, but usually we're adjusting like every 20 to 30 grafts as we're moving across the scalp, up or down to thicker or thinner hairs, or along the sides where the angulation is changing, depending on the kind of restoration doing, hairline, crown, density. And all these factors are getting put together and modified as we do the procedure. Is very dynamic. Whereas in the standard FUE, you just can change the speed at which it rotates and the core size. And that's all you have. And there's really no adjustments to be made. So you'll see them collect hundreds of grafts at a time before making adjustments. But micro, very precise with these grafts. Every graft tends to be essentially perfect in its own way, or the next one after it will definitely be a lot closer. At least to healthier grafts. At least less damage to nearby grafts. That allows to more natural hairs, more density, more future-proofing, better hairlines. And you can imagine it starts because the unit of transfer, which is the graft, is healthier and hardier. And that's why micro is so valuable. It's not an individualized technique you can get below on the additional recommendations. It's a procedure that's fundamentally different you have to pick from the beginning.